to go back real quick to the science of it all and the third act, like it does occur to me that like it feels actually disingenuous to the science of it all to do such a hard sci-fi thing for the first two acts of this movie and say, I'm going to work really really hard, it's going to take months, but I'm going to grow this one plant and it's going to be incredible, da da da, to now I am literally flying through space and being caught by somebody and we're doing a weird Count Dooku spin around each other, um and like, one, all of that may be scientifically possible. Great. I don't care. Two, all of that may be straight out of the source material. Great. I don't care. It does feel, in the context of this movie, it does feel like the movie, I don't know. It almost like cancels out everything else you've seen. I'm thinking about like the docking sequence in Interstellar of like, literally all someone's trying to do with that is just like match the speed of something. Obviously the stakes are very high, the music is insane, the filmmaking is insane, but like that's a big climactic moment that just requires like this like one little scientific achievement basically, or physical slash scientific achievement. And I almost feel like this movie would feel more exciting to me, not necessarily to casual audience members, but to me, if the rescue was just one very simple calculation that like everybody put their heads together and nailed it, and oh my god, can you believe we did it. Once someone is flying, one, it's like, way to go, Iron Man, and we cut to Bucky, which is weird.
Right.
uh that, then like it feels like it's too much. And again, it's like, but you just made me invest so hard in the very careful science of all of this movie, and then you're going to do this kind of goofy superhero ending, and yeah. So it's unfortunate because again, I do like this movie and I have a good time watching it, but it's unfortunate to have the big climax feel kind of like it's pulling the rug out from under you.
I agree 100%. And I think this movie doesn't need to be as long as it is,
Hmm.
also. And I think maybe it would be more memorable if it did just get out. Like if it was just
Hmm.
the crew came back, they scienced the shit out of coming back, and they were able to catch him. You know, the references we're using, like Apollo 13, nothing, like no one has to do a superhero thing in the end of Apollo 13. It's just like people have done the calculations, and what's going to happen is going to happen. And that's like where like so much of the tension is you really want it to be true, but you have this doubt. And I think it is weird. I can almost feel, and this is projecting probably, but a little bit of the like Ridley Scott, like, all right, I made the rest of this movie, now I'm gonna have like fun, like I'm gonna make a 20-minute, like he's gotta, like, we're going into space and I'm gonna make my own gravity, and he's gotta, like, there's gotta be a tarp over it, and he's gonna fly out and like catch people. Like, it felt to me like a very director led sequence that was overly complicated so that there was more like cool things to direct and shoot and make a climax out of, that I agree the movie did not need, and I don't think was setting up. And it really is like meaningless too. Like, what does it mean that Mark like punctured his suit and was able to fly and get caught? Like, none of that means anything. It's just spectacle at that point.
Right. There's
Hmm.
no theme of like faith versus science at contact, or like,
Right.
Right.
there's no, that's not a decision that is impactful for his character arc, because as we've said, he has no character arc.
Or
And
even
I
a
think,
payoff of something that was set up scientifically
Totally.
or
Yeah.
right,
logically.
like,
Yeah.
never do this or whatever.
Right.
I also find that that sequence feels cluttered to me, because there's like a side quest of go make a bomb with sugar. Like, it almost feels like we're trying to
Right.
pack in one more ingenious science move,
Mm.
and we don't need any more. Like, I don't care. Like, Rooney Mara is like, that's super cool what you're doing with the sugar and making a bomb. It's like, what? Who are these characters? I don't care that he can do
Kate
this.
Mara,
Yeah, sorry,
the other
Kate
one.
Mara, the other Mara. Um, anyway, yeah, I just found that was almost like a strange distraction from the drama of once again, yeah, what could just be really intense. It's already very difficult to do what they're trying to do. We don't need these other complications. Just keep it simple and make it like this amazing, like one in a million thing that we're pulling off. But we planned it. and it might go a little bit wrong, but we adjust and we do it. You're building a bomb, and he's like spinning like a top with like, he's kind of just like, he's like halfway out of the spaceship, just like out in space.
Like,
it just looks weird. It doesn't look right. So,
yeah.
Agree with all of this. And the other thing that makes it feel cluttered is like they decide that this is the moment they're going to do some character stuff with the other characters, where like Kate Mara kisses Sebastian Stan's helmet, and I'm like, who are you guys? Like, this is supposed to mean something to me?
Now?
Like, I don't know.
We're gonna do this
anything
now?
about you guys.
And then when they have a kid, it's like, hey, remember this character? Remember these characters from 7 minutes ago that we decided?
No, I don't. I don't even know their names.
The end credits, like going around to all the people with their names on screen. Yeah, it's just part of the weird tone of this movie. Like, what is this movie?
Her name's Johansson and his name's Beck. Ooh, wow.
Nice.
That's all I got. Okay, but that also makes it feel cluttered. And yes, it all is all very silly. I will say that I found myself to be really affected by the image of Matt Damon and Mark Watney sitting, getting ready to launch, where everyone's going like, are you go? Are you go? Are you go? And he's like crying, but trying to hold it together. And it's the first, I was even really affected seeing him sitting in the rover, like writing a note and just be like, take care of this rover. She saved my life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, you care about anything? You care about something? You care about anything? Like the minute that the movie told me that he had feelings of any kind about his situation, I was here. I was so into it. And I think Matt Damon's performance is so beautiful in those moments. He steps out of the rover and he like pats its wheel, right? He just like kind of gives it 2 pats before he walks down to the escaping shuttle thing that they left there for him conveniently. And then, he has to strip it of all of its parts and do that whole thing. And then seeing him sitting there, like attempting to act cavalier in his communications, or I guess professional, right? Like he's trying to continue to be this buttoned up professional scientist who is never shaken by the stakes of what he's going through. I thought that was the first time that that the movie was concerned with showing me the layers that Matt Damon was working through. Like, I agree with what you said earlier about Brian, about his acting. I think he is doing layers. Like, I think there's an internal life to the character that is essentially compelling. Like, I think the movie only works at all because of him. At all. But most of the time, the filmmaking isn't like tuning me into it on purpose. Whereas in that sequence, it really is, highlighting his facade versus his true self, for lack of a better way to put it. And I wish there were more of that in the movie, but if you're going to do it at any point, that is the moment. And I do think it's really moving.
Hope you enjoyed this preview clip. To continue the conversation and listen to the entire episode, head over to the Beyond the Screenplay Patreon. The link is in the show notes.